Ready.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we are going to interview Sister Delana. And so let me get right to the interview. Can you please tell us about your journey to Islam?
My journey to Islam. And by that you mean?
How you embraced Islam. And
what made me start reading Quran?
Yes.
Okay, the media and what it was saying, and I wanted to know if it was true.
Okay.
Also, I worked with some Muslims and heard some talk from the man, like if they're women, they can't let their women think that they are higher than the men.
Okay.
So they have to like not let them feel that way.
Now you heard this from Muslims, you're saying?
Yes, a Muslim man, and he said something else. I don't remember what it was. So yes, I wanted to read Quran and find out for myself exactly what it was about.
And so you hear some things on the media, you hear some statements by a Muslim, and you're like, I want to find out for myself.
Yes.
And so you got the translation of the Quran that had that's being used by Book of Science Foundation, our foundation.
Yes.
Or also known as the Furqaan Foundation. So how was that experience?
Well, I liked it at the front where it said, don't come to any conclusions on your own. If you have a question, ask, call the number, email the email address. I liked that. I read it because I read it from beginning to end. I didn't skip like the front part. So yes.
You didn't skip the front part.
The front part that talks about the fingerprints and the
this Quran and the science.
Yes.
So let me just ask the same question in a different way. So did you yourself have any preconceived ideas about Muslims and Islam from the media, even prior to what this Muslim said?
Not really. No, I mean, I knew it was different. I really didn't know anything about it at all, really. Nothing.
You also have a strong Christian background?
Yes.
And what's interesting about your Christian background is what you were telling me earlier, that you always only worshipped God.
God, yes.
And you never worshipped Jesus.
No.
And what happened when you realized that you're kind of like the only one worshipping God and others are praying to Jesus?
I don't think I am the only one worshipping God and others are. I know that people pray to Jesus, yes. I know that people pray to Mary, like Catholics. But I don't think I'm the only one that prayed to God. I mean, I prayed the way Jesus taught to pray.
Okay, and so what was your first impression of the Quran?
That it was not full of evil, really strange things. All the prophets were in there that are in the Bible. That was really surprising.
What was the key thing that came to you in terms of your learning? What was the key thing that kind of like said, okay, Islam is it?
There's a few things, like the Ten Commandments. There's one God. Yeah, there were several different things. That was one of them. Always went back to Jesus being a prophet and not like come to be the sacrificial lamb for all mankind. That made sense. Because that's kind of what I have believed that he was, not like the Son of God, but like the sacrificial lamb.
So he was sacrificed for the sins of men.
Yeah, because the Christians say he's the Lamb of God.
Right. Okay. So when you're reading the Quran, how far do you have to go into reading the Quran when the stereotypes that you have begin to dissolve?
Really soon, because it talks about all of the prophets that are in the Bible. Joseph, Jesus, Abraham, Isaac, all of them. Noah. I mean, they're all in the Bible.
So how was your first visit to the mosque?
My first visit to the mosque.
And at what point do you decide, that,
okay,
I want to go to the mosque? And so at some point, Islam is beginning to make sense, right? Before you make that step.
Yes, but that was really, really hard because when my family learned I was reading Quran and yeah, they didn't like it, and they, tried to, like, convince me the other way.
Okay. So how was your first trip to the mosque?
I went to the mosque dressed like I was going to church. Okay, I had a skirt, short sleeve, hair, and no one, like, spoke to me. I mean, I would try to find out where I was supposed to go because I didn't know where I was supposed to go, and no one was like, it was, I think something needs to change about that.
And actually, from our foundation, we were trying to coordinate your going to the mosque. I remember talking to somebody at the mosque.
Yes.
And it still didn't end up being a good experience.
It did, though. It did. I mean, it wasn't at first. Halfway through the sermon.
Oh, the Friday sermon?
Yes, the second one, which not very many people are there. One sister came over to me and took me aside and was talking to me about it. And yes, she kind of made the whole thing worse. She actually did a lot of things with me since.
Okay, and so I guess based upon your experience of going to the mosque as a non-Muslim, what advice would you give to the Muslim community regarding new Muslims or people wanting to learn about Islam and when they come to the mosque?
Okay, so yes, so if a woman is coming into the mosque, like she's going to church, she's not like covered, she's just like going to church, speak to her, talk to her, because she's doesn't know what to do, doesn't know where to go, doesn't know anything, and her being ignored doesn't make it a very good experience. I mean, she's there for a reason,
Right.
She's there for a reason. She's there to learn about it, to figure out about it, and when she's not getting any positive responses from anyone, it makes it like where you don't want to go back.
So let me ask you a question. So I remember the first question you sent me was very typical. I usually get this is not an uncommon first question
I'm
for
sure.
people that are reading Quran, and that was in Surah An-Nisa, I think ayah number 34, where Allah says, "And beat the women." And why didn't you just say, okay, well, this proves my point, and I don't need to ask anybody? I mean,
I know. I wanted to know what that meant because of a comment that the Muslim man had made. He had said something like he hates to fight with his wife and hit her in front of their son, especially when she bleeds. And I thought, wow, okay. And because that's what the media says. Like all of this is because of the men. The men make the women do this. The men are like, yeah. I mean that's what it all comes from. So of course I'm going to ask about it because it didn't say like husbands, you have the right to just beat your wife till she bleeds if she doesn't do what you say. It didn't say that.
right, it didn't say that.
Right, it did not say that.
And how much Quran did you read before you start saying, okay, I think I'm going to have to become Muslim?
Almost all of it, or all of it, because I was still going back and forth. I have a sister who graduated from Dallas Baptist, and so she kind of got as involved as she could in what I was doing. Now she has other interests, so.
Right, okay.
Yes.
So, how did you find this particular translation of the Quran that's printed by Furqaan Foundation or Book of Science?
I thought it was very helpful. I thought all the scientific facts, I thought that was really cool in the front, and I also liked the phone number and the address. And it's the only one I've ever read. It's the only one I know of. It's the only one.
So you liked the introduction that it had?
Yes, it did.
And how's your journey been since you've been Muslim? How's your...
I feel like it's been slow, kind of, because I would kind of go back and forth a lot with Jesus and Muhammad, and having a lot of questions, and I listened to my sister, and then I read Quran, and I thought it was very slow. But I have a teacher in Irving Masuda, who is very helpful. Now there are several women who are very helpful to me. It was that first visit that was not very good.
Okay. And what advice would you give Furqaan Foundation, this foundation? First of all, I'd like to know, just for general purposes, were we helpful in answering your questions? And
Yes. Yes, you answered it perfectly. You did. It took you a little bit to get back to me because I didn't even know whether the Furqaan was still in business or what. But I emailed the email address and it took several weeks, I think, for you to answer. But you did very well. I was satisfied with your answer. And that's why I continued to ask questions.
I see. Do you have anything to say specifically about the project itself?
The project itself, getting the Quran in every home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think it should be done as quickly as possible. And I hope that, what did you say? One out of every, you get one shahada out of every?
10,000 to 15,000.
Okay, and you know what? I did not get one at my home. I have to say that. I went to the bookstore and bought it.
Mm-hmm. You went to a bargains bookstore or something?
Half-price books, yes. And I bought it for like $7.99.
Okay. It's amazing that how our Qur'ans end up, like I was at another bookstore and they just had our Qur'ans there. It's not our Qur'an, it's Allah's book, but the translation that we did.
And it's kind of confusing because it says something on the front like, it was confusing for me because I wanted to be reading the Quran, like the real Quran, like to know, to learn about it, like if all these things are true or not, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and it had something confusing on the front, like it was a translation, I forget exactly what it said.
Interpretation or translation?
The interpretation, maybe. It's something that made you think, okay, well, maybe this is not
the real thing.
Right. So I did kind of wonder about that also. You should probably take that off there.
Because it's not the Quran, right? The Quran is in Arabic, and so the translation is in English.
Well, maybe it needs to be more explained a little bit better.
On the title?
Yeah, because it gives you the impression almost that you don't... Because there were several there, right? Okay, and I'm looking at all of them, I'm reading what all of them say on the front, and that one, you know, looked the best, but it still didn't seem like it might be the right one, you know what I mean? Like, that I would really be reading what the Quran says. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Very interesting.
I know, I probably didn't tell you that before, but that's true. I mean, I want to be reading what the Quran says, not what you know, someone decided to write down in English, right?
Okay, thank you very much.